Look, y'all getting super serious with these, and I just had somebody send me one of these on Instagram, and I watched it. I laughed so hard, I started watching these, I guess, meme reels for like 2 hours, and I thought, all right, we got to do another one of these.
I'm feeling lonely. I wish I find a lover that could hold me. Now I'm crying in my room.
Oh my God, I almost died.
No.
I almost died. That was so scary. Thank you.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
I had a realization. I've been alive for 24 years and I haven't even done anything with my life.
Such a wide range of emotions. All right, you might remember the vlog that I did where I took that sports team out to Japan. Well, those players are used to being on a plane, so not really a big deal. However, they ended up bringing a lot of administrative stats with them, and some of those people were afraid of flying. Well, while we were in cruise, I ended up being on the first break. I went to the galley. There's a galley on the upper deck. I went to the galley, and of course, I was looking for snacks. I was talking with the flight attendants up there, and these different administrative staff were coming back there to get snacks too, fill up their drinks, or do all kinds of stuff. I had just woken up, so I didn't really need any rest. And while I'm back there, one of the ladies came up to me and she started asking about turbulence. Is it going to be turbulent? How scary is it going to be? Blah, blah, blah. And she's just freaked out about flying, about the turbulence. Now, I had looked at the flight plan, and the first 2/3 of the flight didn't have any turbulence at all, but the last third was forecasted to have some serious turbulence. And in my head, I thought, well, I can tell her about it, and then for the next several hours, she's going to be thinking about this scary turbulence thing that's going to happen. Or I thought, it's possible that that turbulence could go away. I mean, it's forecasted. We'll see when we get there. It looks something like this on the chart. Again, it's just predicted, but this is what it was looking at, and I didn't know if it was going to be there. It was definitely there. Anyway, all it means is that the wind is going in different directions in a short span of space. So when that happens, it's just a rough ride. That's really all there is to it. There's nothing dangerous about it. Planes aren't going to break up. They're set for these crazy parameters that a plane will never ever see. So I'm fine. Pilots are fine. But I was envisioning her in the back like this.
Oh my God, I almost died.
No.
And the funny thing is that I don't like roller coasters because I'm not in control of everything that's going on, even though it's on rails, and this is a plane that has no rails on it. But I don't like that situation where I'm not in control. However, when I'm in turbulence as a pilot, when I'm up there flying, it bothers me zero. I slow it down when we have passengers on board just to make the ride smoother for you. But last night we had turbulence coming down here. We just kept going our normal speed because it's just a couple pilots up there, so we don't really care. It doesn't bother us. But I understand for passengers, so we slow it down. But if you're ever scared about turbulence, just realize it's just shifting air. Planes have never blown up or exploded or wings fallen off despite turbulence, and I've been in some crazy turbulence that most people will never ever see, and I'm still here, so don't sweat it.
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
My very first airline job, my very first winter, we had a layover in Orlando. I was based in North Carolina. It was middle of winter. The captain that I was flying with, I'd been flying for that airline maybe like 2 or 3 months. The captain I was flying with lived in like northern Maine, somewhere on like the border of Canada somewhere. Anyway, they lived in an extremely cold place. So I had this layover there in Orlando. I was so excited. I was like, great, this is gonna be so cool. It's warm, it's 70 degrees. I'm so excited for the warmth. And we were in the van ride going over to the hotel, and we were planning what we were gonna go do. We said, oh, we can go down to this place and go do this. And the captain's like, I can't really leave the hotel. We gotta kind of stay in this area. And we get to the hotel, we decide what time we're gonna meet downstairs. Usually it's like 10 minutes, but he said he wanted to meet in like 25 minutes. So we go upstairs, we change, everybody meets downstairs. And while we're downstairs and hanging out at kind of the bar there at the hotel, I asked him, like, why didn't we just go to that other cool place down the road? He goes, well, the thing is that my wife's in Canada, basically, and if she calls me or hears that I'm in a very warm place, it's going to be miserable for me for the next few days. And it was essentially this situation right here.
Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
And that's probably another reason why I'm still not married.
To be clear, I don't want you. You're an unfortunate necessity, like tipping or colonoscopies.
Well, you probably heard about airlines trying to go to artificial intelligence and replace pilots, and I'm sure if you go far enough up the food chain of any airline management, you're going to find somebody who's going to think like this.
To be clear, I don't want you. You're an unfortunate necessity.
I do agree with the tipping thing, though. Just the other day, I was in a hotel lobby. I had to do a call, so I ran over, I picked something up to go. Just went to the bar, ordered it to go. When I got my bill, it had an 18% gratuity added on there, and then below that was an additional line for an additional tip to leave. And to me, it's just kind of out of control because there are these industries where you have to give so much money tipping them. It seems strange, but then like a flight attendant who is bringing you food, who's there for your safety, doing all that stuff, they get no tips. I don't know. It's kind of weird, and then just making it an automatic thing, I don't really like that. A takeaway order, it's like if you go to Chipotle, now you got to pay a tip to go to Chipotle and get a burrito. I don't know. It's getting a little crazy in my opinion. And clearly, that's how some airline management feel about us.
Come on.
The reason this is so funny because as a pilot, when you go through the simulator training, it is exactly like this. I actually have to go do simulators in a couple of weeks, and it is always like this. If everything is calm, nothing's on fire, the wing hasn't flown off or something, and after about 1 or 2 minutes, you look at the other pilot next to you and you go, what are we missing? Like there's some surprise that's coming up, or we've missed something and the instructor is back there waiting. Are these guys going to see this thing that I've done? So it's like that. So you're sitting there waiting. If there's ever something that's not on fire or this emergency landing that you're trying to do, it's just quiet for 2 minutes. You're thinking either I'm in trouble, I've missed something, or something crazy is going to come up just like this. The only unrealistic thing is most pilots don't scream like this during an emergency. I mean, I do, but most generally don't. This isn't just for flight attendants, this is all crew members, and I actually just had this exact situation happen to me last month. The last part of my trip that I was supposed to do got canceled. I don't know what happened, the customer canceled the flight. So I had these 3 days and I thought I'm gonna be able to get to go home. I was gonna go visit a friend of mine, his daughter was graduating high school, and so I thought, oh, this will be cool. I've seen her, known her since she was a little girl, and I can see the graduation, sweet. So I was planning to go do that, and then on my last trip, I was coming back into Miami. When I landed in Miami, I looked at my schedule. Keep in mind, I'd already booked my flight back to Texas to see the graduation, visit my friend. I landed in Miami and I looked, and you have to look at your schedule at the end just to see if there's been any changes. And I look, and they found something for me. One trip, go to Dallas, and it was just Dallas for like a day and a half, and then a 2-hour flight to Chicago. Of course, on the exact same day, that was her graduation. And I didn't know about the graduation until I already had made my schedule. She didn't tell me about it, so I guess it's kind of her fault. But it's exactly that. I thought, oh, this is so cool, canceled flight, and then crew scheduling, like ninjas. They're like, oh, look what we found, boop, and there it is. But this is exactly what a crew looks like when they're looking at their schedule. I can neither confirm nor deny that this is actual footage of me. What I can say is that probably within the next year or so, I'll be able to upgrade to captain. This will still be me crying out here, but I'll just be making a lot more money while I'm doing it. I look forward to hearing from you. Until then, keep the blue side up.